It's smarter, you know. It is smarter, you know. No stupid, you hide.
That's your opinion. Stop swearing. Everything inside is yours?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. I need to open your bags.
Biosecurity officers have pulled aside a passenger at Sydney Airport after he was seen behaving inappropriately.
This man caught our attention when he was waiting to be processed through the X-ray, where he was actually spitting on the ground. You have to open your bags for me.
Too long.
No, it's not too long. You need
Not too long.
Sir, you need to open your bags. Can you help me, please? Open around here.
And the passenger's bad behaviour is starting to get personal.
My God, this is too Australian.
Excuse me? Do not swear at me, sir.
Shut up.
Do not swear at me again, sir.
I don't understand. 突拜意思这个突拜，来澳大利亚西的人，突澳大利亚的突拜打爆这个，What happened?
I ask you not to swear at me. I am not swearing at you.
阿托尼有喏，这是突拜打爆这个。
Do not swear at me again.
The man seems unwilling to open his bags.
No key, no key.
And an X-ray of the contents may explain why.
We can see that there are quite a large number of organic items showing up on the X-ray, which more than likely means that it's food.
Okay, this is you again?
Yeah.
He maintains he has nothing to declare and is refusing to hand over the keys. So officers have no choice but to use force to access his suitcase.
We've got to do our job.
Yeah.
What is this?
这个买一瓶 tea， 有喏 tea， 詹姆斯 tea， 国营 tea， 詹姆斯 tea， tea， special tea。I drink in Australia, you know. You understand?
I do understand, sir. His behaviour is very abnormal for someone that's going through a standard procedure. He's getting very personal, using profanities. I'm just going to have to try and restrain him from continuing, otherwise I might have to go further and call the Australian Federal Police.
Despite the warnings, the man then spits in the nearby bin, and it seems he is far from finished with his extreme behaviour.
And I've asked him not to do that before. I don't appreciate the profanities coming from his mouth, however we have to do what we have to do. You have a lot of tea, sir.
I will see tea, I will see tea. This one nothing.
So you
You
need
know open, you know tea, you know blacken, you know?
Don't yell. I'm not yelling at you, sir. I am not yelling at you.
It's smarter, you know, it is smarter, you know. No stupid, you hide.
That's your opinion. Stop swearing. He's very distressed and disgruntled about something. So first of all, I'm going to try and calm him down and ask him not to swear, and we'll go ahead with our inspections and see why he's the way he is today.
The man's bags are full of undeclared organic material, and it's not long before some prohibited items are located.
Okay, what's this?
Yes.
What is
This one
it?
is food, you know, food is
Mushroom.
cooking
Yes,
food,
mushroom.
you know, nice one.
Yeah, I know.
Okay?
Not okay.
The mushrooms are not commercially packaged and could contain harmful contaminants such as mould or soil. They'll need to be inspected further as even more potential biosecurity risks are located.
So you, this,
Yeah, put my car is
Yes.
locking, 12, every day 12. In Australia, locking, very locking, you understand?
stop yelling at me, sir. Okay, listen, sir. Listen to me. This, you should have said yes to question 7, okay? This is a part of a plant. I
I
understand.
don't know. It's
They're part of a plant material. All this, you should have declared here. You said no, no, no.
Failing to declare such a large amount of organic material means this angry passenger may be facing a large fine.
what happened trust you working here?
Yeah,
I
that's
do
my job.
understand, you know? Come on, you know?
Stop swearing. Is it meat? Beef?
No meat. Chinese sugar, some of these,
Okay,
your chocolate, you know?
I can find out. I'll have a translator translate that.
Is China, Is department no double check. Okay, go.
Sir, China's
You know?
different to Australia. This is Australia, not China,
It's
sir.
Australia citizen is nothing. You know about
Ignoring his tirade, biosecurity officers turn their attention to the high-risk foodstuffs he is carrying.
Andrea has inspected the passengers' bags and he didn't declare anything. And what she's found is beef lollies. These are actually made out of beef. And beef from China is a prohibited item because some of their animals can have foot and mouth disease. So we don't let any beef products into Australia unless they come via an import permit.
Sir, please don't walk away when I'm talking. No, you can't smoke here. Sir.
Also a prohibited item, they're Chinese red dates. These very quickly become a weed that's very hard to control. When they're whole, they have the seed, and that's what we're trying to stop coming in.
You give me high beef. This is 1 bag. High beef.
I will.
Okay. Open.
His prohibited items will be destroyed, but failing to declare them is an offence and carries a penalty.
Judging by already how he's behaving, it's actually going to be very interesting to see what he's going to be like when he's going to be told that he's going to be issued with an infringement notice today.
This give me really open.
So we'll see how he's going to go with that. You failed to declare on the card, okay? So today, there'll be a fine of $340.
300. No money. I don't know. I don't.
Okay, well, if you don't have the money, we can go to court, or you can pay today.
I go to court. Okay. I don't.
You want to go to court?
Yeah, court. For the local, high court, doesn't matter.
Okay. So,
I don't know. This one is food. This little bit food.
Yeah.
I don't know.
yeah, but
It's
that's-
no gun, no come to offer
Yeah.
the house, no gun, no. You know. It's
so you need to calm down and listen to me. So,
I
I'm
don't understand. You know, in this country, me is life very, very hard. You know, is from Central give me family money. You know,
Sir.
from Australia government.
so,
You
listen
know,
to me.
you charge me money, some Australia government not happy. You know.
Don't come too close to me.
You asking Central, you know.
Stop, just listen, please listen. You will be here for another at least 2 hours, because to go to court we have to do a record of interview.
Doesn't matter.
No, you can't bargain.
I don't understand. Which
You
one?
can't bargain with the government. No, 340 is the fine set by the Australian government. Okay, I don't put the fines on. You're right, okay? All right. You pay today, and then you can go home and you can go have your cigarette.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll pack your bag. He's already agitated enough. He just wants to go out and have a cigarette. So he's going to pay the fine today. He'll be told next time that he needs to declare, and he won't spend as much time with us here. And hopefully he's learned his lesson today, and he'll do the right thing in future.
Notice the bags on the X-ray screen have a lot of food inside, or what seems to be food, so I'm going to go and open the bags and have a closer look. I start with this one.
Items which should have been declared are immediately located.
We've got cakes.
Yeah.
We've got tea.
Yeah.
Officer Stephanie uncovers a concealment which raises concern.
This was in a shower cap. It's all got salt on it.
Yeah.
Would you say that's still fresh? Yeah, I would. Leave this one. Just wait.
Okay.
Fresh vegetable matter poses a serious risk as it can harbour diseases. But that's just the beginning of what this passenger has lurking in her bag.
Okay, I'm a bit concerned what's within the bottom of the bag. Just,
Go.
I've got to tip the contents of the bag out. She's got seeds all through the bottom of her bag. This one, not okay.
Oh, no.
I'm unsure if she was going to use that to plant in her garden. They pose a massive risk with insect and disease. So I have to destroy these ones.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
Just wait. Okay, that's okay. You don't need to tip it all out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The woman's bag has already been found to contain some nasty surprises. But what the officers find next is a vile bio-mess of a completely different type.
Why are your shoes covered in oil? Did she need diarrhea? Is that what she just said? Can I get you to get me a bag, please, and 2 clean gloves? If you hold the bag out, I'll put this in.
What the hell is that?
I think she just said diarrhea. Thank you.
Let her do it herself.
All right, take that. I'm going to clean this. And if it is, I ain't touching it. All right? No. It's okay. It's okay.
Sorry.
We just clean it so we don't get it all over everything else.
With the woman's soiled shoes safely bagged, officers continue with the search and soon find more items which should have been declared.
Okay, stop. What's in this one? What's inside?
No pickle, no pickle.
No pickle.
No.
No?
哎，我给你看。
You open one?
Yeah. Yes.
Vegetable. These haven't been cooked. The vegetables are raw. My concern with the uncooked vegetable is that it can bring pest and disease into Australia.
The woman's dumplings will be disposed of, while Officer Stephanie continues to search for any further undeclared items. And she soon locates what may be the biggest risk yet.
Oh no, this is not pretty. The glass is broken and the juice just went everywhere. Seriously, just be careful.
Oh my Lord, it smells.
Pickled vegetable. Would you be happy that this is a vegetable that's been pickled?
It smells just really...
I know, it's all over me.
No pickle.
No pickle.
And look, it's all processed enough, isn't it? It's all homemade, really. So
Yeah.
when we have that, yeah, you're going to have to take it. Yeah, and it doesn't smell too good.
No. There's a mixture of vegetables in here. I can't tell you what all of them are. Cooking them alone doesn't get rid of any of the risks associated with the vegetable, so I have to destroy these ones.
Biosecurity regulations are readily available to passengers when travelling, and officers find it hard to believe that anyone who has been to Australia previously could attempt to bring in such a large amount of restricted food without declaring it.
Have you travelled before to Australia? Oh, yeah, she's travelled heaps. All right. Why you say no? Why you not?
No.
There's no doubt that this woman chose to blatantly disregard the Australian regulations, and she's now facing the possibility of a fine.
No pickle, no pickle. No.
Vegetable meat.
Yeah, no pickle.
Yeah, it's vegetable.
No pickle.
What do we got in here? It's not pickled, it's just been cut.
哎，有没有那个 China 的？
What is it?
哎呀。
It's not pickled.
It is another batch of raw vegetables and a potential risk of foreign disease.
This one, no. Okay?
哎，China 的。
Yeah, from China. But no.
With the exhaustive bag search complete, all the restricted items are now disposed of. And the woman is issued with a $360 fine.
I hope that the passenger understands how important it is to declare, and she does that next time.
A woman arriving off a flight from Malaysia has been stopped because of her unusual travel itinerary.
We noted that there are a few anomalies just in her passenger card, so we pulled her aside to establish what she was doing essentially in Australia.
The woman says she's been on a round-the-world trip, but her passenger card states that she is only in Sydney for 1 day before flying home to Chile, and when questioned, she is unwilling to provide any detail.
Just you? Just one person? When you were
Yeah,
on
one person.
Okay. So
Alone.
you went to
No,
Malaysia?
speak more, please.
Look, I'm just trying to see what you were doing over
Oh, mentira. César, me está
there. What is in your bag?
Okay. The Polish International and the question is no problem. Aquí, you look in my bag and have to go. Please.
What I'm trying to establish is what's inside your bags, okay? This is the only reason why I'm asking.
Her refusal to answer his questions makes Officer Justin suspect this woman may have something to hide. So all of her luggage will now be thoroughly searched.
The only reason why I'm going to look in that bag is because I need to establish why you're agitated, okay?
Quiero llorar.
Is there any reason why you were so agitated?
I no speak more. No
want to speak?
No one speak.
When we encounter someone who's quite aggressive in situations, would suggest that they might be doing something that they shouldn't be. What is inside this bag? What do you have in here?
Here?
Yeah.
Is the close the
Yep.
yeah this.
Okay, I'll look inside.
No.
I'll look inside.
Look.
All right.
Así, ropa sucia.
It's all right. I will make an assessment of this myself, okay?
Jackets.
But it's not just clothing in her backpack. A heavily wrapped package is located, which the passenger claims is a Buddhist statue.
What we found essentially is just what is like a Buddha ornament.
Officer Justin will now check the item for concealments.
What we're seeing on the X-ray image, a lot of plastic-based material there. Yeah, it looks fairly consistent all throughout. I wouldn't say that there are any anomalies that I can see there, so I think that that's okay.
The statue gets the all clear, but there are lingering concerns about the emotional passenger.
I have to go. It's sleeping. No
Okay,
more
but-
this.
Why are you feeling like this? All we are doing is looking in your bag. Why are you upset like this?
No, it's the sleeping. It's the
sleeping.
Yeah, I'm asleep. Yeah, make it.
Due to her erratic behaviour, officers will make one final check.
We're going to do an ion scan. Okay.
Scan?
A scan of your bag.
Okay.
Looks for traces of drugs or explosives.
No,
You have not come into contact with any of those things.
nothing.
Okay. Why are you crying
Yeah,
today?
but I want to go. I am one day in Sydney, and I want my friends know here.
This is something we do all the time. Okay.
Okay.
We search, but you start to cry.
To cry, I'm sensible. I sensible. I have to go.
Okay. Right.
This is motive that I cry. I am
Okay.
one person sensible.
Okay.
In the examination room, the swab test from the woman's backpack checks for traces of any illicit substances.
So we've received a negative result for the ion scan today, which essentially allays our suspicions that there might be anything inside her passenger baggage.
The woman is now free to enjoy her day in Sydney. Border Force officers have pulled aside this passenger who is returning from Vietnam after they noticed some unusual behaviour.
Just the way he acted around the baggage carousel sort of alerted my suspicions, and this is why we've selected him for a baggage search.
Nothing of concern is found in the man's suitcase, so officers' attention turns to the blue plastic bag he's carrying.
The second bag is full of foodstuff, and it's all commercially sealed and packaged.
Swabs are taken from the food packets to check for any traces of illicit substances, and this testing brings about a sudden change in the man's demeanour.
He's now not as talkative as he was, and he's saying that he's a little bit sick, that he's not feeling well.
Officers assist the passenger after he explains that there is medication in his bag which he needs to take.
We're going to go and get you something to eat.
I want to eat.
But you have to have something to eat to take this one.
That one first.
But this one has to be taken with food. Can we get you something to eat? They're both in his name?
They are both in his name.
Yeah, let him have it. It's up to him. We warned him. Okay, perhaps. Yes, please. All right, we're going to give it to you. One this and one this.
The swab samples are now run through the ion scanner, and the result is something that could see him deteriorate even further.
We did an ion scan, and the result is positive for ephedrine.
Officers must now step up the investigation and open the packets.
But what is actually inside after opening it up and looking inside is a white powder. So this then needs to be tested further.
The suspicious powder will now undergo secondary testing while the man is thoroughly questioned.
Okay, so we're going to take you into the room over there and we'll get you an interpreter so that you can speak to the interpreter, okay?
Officers now read the man his rights.
So you don't have to say or do anything, but anything you do say or do may be used in evidence. Do you understand that?
While the man anxiously waits for the official test results, it appears he already knows it's not going to be a good result. Secondary testing of a white powder found concealed in food packets belonging to this passenger has confirmed officers' concerns.
That has also resulted positive for ephedrine, which can be used in the manufacturing of ice.
As the evidence mounts against the man who appears to have been caught with a restricted substance, his state of health continues to decline.
He's now saying that he's feeling sick. I do believe he may be a bit ill and dizzy, but I also believe that he's probably putting on a bit of a show.
No, don't sit on the floor, sit on the chair.
I scared to fall down. She did.
Don't sit on the floor.
We did it too long.
Okay.
Fine.
His behaviour is making it impossible to continue the interview.
He's saying he's still feeling sick, so at this point we've had to call for an ambulance.
Hello? Good afternoon. Interpreter, can you confirm that if we brought any food in, he would refuse to eat it?
We've had the paramedics check him, they've given him the okay, so we can proceed with our investigations.
With his clean bill of health confirmed, he's left with no choice but to face the serious consequences of bringing an illicit substance into Australia.
We have found 7.99 kilos of ephedrine, and so now we'll be handing it over to our investigations branch to proceed with the prosecution.
Drug detector dogs play a crucial role in helping identify passengers that may be attempting to import illegal drugs through our international airports.
Good job, buddy.
And today, in Brisbane, Border Force officers have pulled aside a nervous man arriving from France.
We've had some interest with one of our drug detector dogs. It's shown some interest in some of the passengers' baggage. We have to investigate that a little further.
Officer Cameron will now carry out a full baggage search to determine if this man is carrying any illegal substances.
The dog went past before, showed a bit of interest in your bags. Do you use drugs at all? Like
No.
marijuana?
No.
Never?
I smoke in France, and when I travel, not drugs.
Back in France you did? You smoked some marijuana?
Yeah, a little bit.
When's the last time you maybe smoked some marijuana?
1 year alone.
You haven't had one for 1 year?
With his admission that he has smoked marijuana in the past, a swab is taken from the inside of one of the man's bags. The test will reveal if there are traces of marijuana or any other drugs on his belongings. And it seems he is not being completely honest. Officer Cameron will now further question the man about his drug use.
So you said you've smoked some marijuana before in the past. Any other drugs you've used?
There's a little cocaine.
Yeah. How long ago did you come into contact with cocaine?
2 weeks.
2 weeks ago?
For the birthday.
Yeah. Where was that, in France that you used cocaine or somewhere else?
In France, yeah.
With this admission, Officer Cameron has only one concern about this nervous passenger.
You're not carrying any with you today, are you?
Yeah.
On your body? Nothing else on your pockets or anything?
No, nothing.
Despite his denials, a second swab is taken, this time from his larger bag.
Was the cocaine stored in your bag or in your clothing? Were you wearing this clothing at the time?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
If the second test is negative, this traveller will be one step closer to entering Australia. But it looks like he won't be going anywhere just yet.
The first one was on his larger bag, and we got presumptively positive for cocaine. We did a second one, focusing more on his clothing items and personal items, and the same result again was cocaine.
A thorough search of the man's belongings has uncovered some unusual items.
Is that one of the knives you're talking about?
Yeah, I've got a second knife.
That's okay.
But so far, no illicit substances have been found, so Border Force officers take the next step.
We have to conduct a personal search now, and just to ascertain whether he is or is not carrying any prohibited items or drugs underneath his clothing.
The passenger requests that the frisk is conducted in a private room.
Can I get you just a... Okay.
While his body is searched for any possible concealments, his bags are put through the X-ray. After careful inspection, his luggage gets the all clear and the frisk search is complete.
The result of the frisk search is a negative result. We have not found any drugs or any other prohibited items underneath his clothing or on his body at all.
You enjoy your holiday.
Officers are now satisfied the traveller is not attempting to import any illegal drugs into the country.
See you later.
And with great relief, he can begin his holiday in Australia.
Au revoir. Just empty anything in your pocket.
Yeah.
So we have a passenger that has flown from Hong Kong. He's an Australian citizen and he hasn't been here for 12 years. He has previously imported narcotics into Australia, so we're just making sure that today he hasn't brought anything back with him.
The man has admitted that he was caught carrying opium through Sydney Airport over 10 years ago and spent time in jail. So, to be sure he is not attempting to do it again this time around, a swab test is taken from his suitcase to check for traces of narcotics. And while the test is carried out, Officer Jasmina needs to know one thing from the passenger.
You don't have any with you today?
No. After that happened, I want to do something again.
So only 6 months in jail?
6.5, I think, yeah.
What year was that?
That was 2002.
Well, that's big trouble. That's not little trouble with the police. You went to jail.
No, that's... Yeah, if you look at for the big one, yeah, you can see big one because jails. But if you see my record, nothing.
The man insists he is clean, but the swab taken from his suitcase is telling a different story. Officers will now take a closer look at both bags, but before they get any further, the passenger explodes.
All the time they do it like that to me. Look in the paper like this. And another side, 100, 200, maybe million kilos, they bring them.
Sir, you don't get searched all the time because...
Yeah, because you're asking...
for 12
okay,
years.
if you think
And the
it's in
last
there,
time-
go
the
check
last-
it, take it.
The last time that
And
you
put
came
me in the jail for nothing.
The last time you came into Sydney,
Yes.
you brought narcotics with you.
Yeah, I did.
That's what you
I
told me.
told you, I
Right.
did.
So
I
you
did.
can understand why
But
we're
I'm not-
searching everything.
That for past, I told you. That
but
for,
you have to
that for
understand
15 years ago, I was
fine.
idiot.
That's fine, but I'm here. I have to do my job.
You have to do your job, not like that. Look.
As I said to you, your bags
Look.
come up positive.
How many hours I was in
for
the
narcotics.
airplane, and how many hours you want to check every little thing of me? Check it.
We have
Check
to.
it.
We will.
Don't talk to me. Check it.
Okay, we will.
Ignoring his tirade, officers continue their search and the man's suitcase is put through the X-ray. But there are no concealments inside. Next, his smaller bag, which tested positive for narcotics, is taken to the examination room for closer inspection.
So I'm just trying to make a little hole so we can see if there is any powder in there, because the bag is quite heavy and that would be the only place he could probably get it. There doesn't seem to be anything there.
Both bags get the all clear, but officers still have concerns about where the narcotics readings are coming from, and they ask the now much calmer passenger to consent to a frisk search as they discover some crucial information about his last importation attempt.
So previously when he imported narcotics, he had it strapped around his legs, and it was found when a frisk search was conducted. He is assuring us that that was years ago and he's not that stupid anymore, but at this stage we're not believing him.
While in an examination room, Border Force officers prepare to test some medication they found in his luggage that looks a little out of the ordinary.
Look at the flecks of white.
During the baggage examination, we have located some capsules which contain some powder. There is the same capsule in 2 different containers, so we're just going to now test them to make sure that there's nothing that he shouldn't have on him.
A narcotics indicator kit will check for opium, cocaine and other illicit substances. While back at the bench, all eyes are on an unexplained bulk around the ankles of the passenger.
Do you mind just taking your shoes off? Do you mind taking your shoes off?
So with the frisk search, the bulkiness under his pants was his boots weren't zipped up properly and they were showing like there was something strapped around his legs. Okay, so you're okay with how the frisk was conducted?
Yeah.
Yes, no complaints?
The frisk search is negative, but for the passenger to be given the all clear, the narcotics tests in the examination room must also be negative.
As you can see, it's gone like a yellow curry type colour. So we have got no reaction, so we've got a negative result on our presumptive NIC tests.
The NIC tests are negative, and officers are now sure this man has not repeated his crimes of the past, and he is free to enter the country.
So we just pulled in a passenger from Colombia. He's quite agitated. He's speaking really, really quickly, and his story is, it's all over the shop at the moment. So trying to get a gauge of where he's been, what he's been doing, who he's travelled with.
A swab is taken from the man's backpack to check for traces of narcotics. While the test is conducted, the passenger tells Officer Andrew that his trips to Colombia have been for women he has met on the internet.
I met her online after coming back from Canada, being gone 4 years. I come home for the first time in 4 years. And then I met Lily online a few months after that, decided to pack up and throw it all in for her and move the following year, 2014, for her. So I moved to Colombia 2014, lived with her for the whole 9 months, brought her back. She was all day in the house doing nothing, sucking her thumb, whinging for mummy. And then I went back again last year, hoping to find someone more real and practice Spanish again. And I'm really hurt because I threw that away for Viviana versus Liliana. Then there was Viviana.
As the passenger tries to explain his unusual relationships, over in the examination room, the swab test from his backpack is negative. But at the bench, steroids have been located in his luggage, and there are 2 other heavily taped bottles of liquid that will need closer inspection.
We located the steroids, which he said he got from a mate over in Colombia who he goes to the gym with. I asked him whether he's used drugs or not. He said all he does is use steroids.
I don't go out much. I do gym and stay at home and watch Netflix. Marijuana is natural, and I liked doing that a lot as a kid, but I'm sober now, and that's the only thing I've ever done, mate. My parents know that, so I try to be as Christian as I can, and smoking grass is not very Christian.
Steroids are a restricted import and will be seized. Because the man admits to cannabis use in the past, a second swab is taken, this time from the yellow bottle of liquid. And it looks like this passenger won't be going anywhere just yet. When questioned, the passenger insists it's shampoo that he uses for a skin condition.
Well, I can tell the story backwards, where I got it from, what I've done with it, where it was, what bag it was in and out of. No one touched that bottle of stuff. I come home from the pharmacy with it, put it all over my legs, bum and stomach, wherever I have the spots.
When we first told him it came back positive for cocaine, he was quite surprised, quite nervous. And he hasn't stopped talking. He just keeps talking and talking.
The first time I ever had these spots, I was like a teenager, and my mum took me into the medical centre. He said, "Don't freak out. What soap do you use? Are you sweating a lot? Are you wearing a shirt while at work?" "Yeah, got it." So my skin not breathing really well, I suppose, and you react. Everything comes out of your skin. It's what acne and everything is. It's got to come out somewhere. Your skin's your biggest organ.
So I don't know if it's just a distraction technique from him, but he's still very nervous and fidgety and agitated.
But have you been in a situation before?
Yeah.
Where it's come back and you're, talking to someone who's, willing to, with their last dying breath tell you you're crazy. I've never even done coke, let alone got traces of it on me. So what happened in your experience before? Like the machine was wrong and this guy come and tested it and proved that? Or?
So like I said, that first test we did, it's a trace test.
It's insane. At least I can smile about it, but oh my God, it's just tripping me out. Never done anything but smoke joints in my whole life.
The passenger's behaviour is doing little to allay officers' suspicions as the bottle is taken to an examination room.
We're going to do some further testing now, and just to see exactly what's in the bottle.
Am I going to go to jail for this? This is ridiculous. And what am I going to, need a lawyer to prove that I've never come into contact? It's insane. I don't know what to think right now. It's just crazy. When he said it came back with a trace of coke, I was like, coke? No, cocaine. What the? What a joke. Something that you buy from the pharmacy and bring home. How on earth did that get cocaine trace on it? Wow.
Border Force officers have completed secondary testing on the contents of the bottle, and the passenger is informed.
Story is, we did 2 tests on the shampoo bottle. It's come back negative, mate. So that actually tests the...
Tested twice? So 3 total?
Yeah. Like I said, that secondary technology tests the actual stuff inside.
Yeah.
First stuff tests outside. So like I said, you could have come in contact, or someone could have come in contact with your bags. So, like I said, could be,
could be a heart attack.
It's all right. It's all good.
Officers are satisfied the man is not carrying any narcotics.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks to your
Appreciate it.
patience, no worries. He's probably been overseas. He's probably had dealings with people who have offered him cocaine. But as far as we're concerned right here, right now, there's no cocaine on him.
Next time he travels, this nervous passenger may want to leave his shampoo bottle behind.
Spend your whole life wondering how on earth it had a trace of cocaine, but that's not important. What's important is that I'm going home and not to jail.
So literally you bought water.
That's what I'm saying.
Frozen water. Right. Did you see them fill all these up? Yeah?
Yes.
You're very busy? You've been overseas for 3 days.
I'm a businessman.
Okay. And I have a job to do. So the more we cooperate, the quicker this will happen, okay?
The man appears agitated as Officer Alicia prepares to carry out a full baggage search. And she is wondering if it is because he has something to hide.
He's a little bit short, a little bit inconvenienced, a little bit unhappy to be searched, and he's in a hurry because he runs his own business. What business do you do?
Self-employed. I'm a distributor.
Do you have a business card at all?
Nah, I didn't bring my wallet, I only bring my credit card.
Just that one card. Lucky you didn't lose it.
That's all right. I
trouble.
I don't want to bring it all and then I lose it and then it's all headache.
Yeah. It's all right.
He has very few personal belongings in his luggage, but the passenger says he travelled to Vietnam for a family wedding.
Did you pay for your ticket yourself?
Yes.
Cash or credit card?
Credit card.
Anyone else from your family go over for the wedding?
No, just myself.
Photos on his phone indicate the wedding is legitimate, but Officer Alicia has some lingering doubts.
Why such a short trip at such expense? If you're going all that way and you know you've got to go, you would go for longer. Whereas he seems to have just gone, attended a wedding and left straight away, which raises a few concerns.
Officers need to be sure the man is not attempting to bring anything illegal back into the country.
When are you planning to go back to Vietnam again?
Not for a little while.
Yeah? Something's leaked.
paint.
He has an unusual assortment of luggage.
What is that?
Oh, that is kumquat.
But a plastic container catches Officer Alicia's attention.
It's powder, cleaning powder.
The lid appears to have been tampered with and needs closer inspection.
You want to get a swab?
It's been opened and it's been taped back up.
Yep.
The contents of the container will be tested, but alarm bells start ringing when the passenger says it's not his.
Did you feel that?
My father-in-law, I think he opened it to see if it arrived stuff in there.
He says his father-in-law has given it to him. He doesn't seem to go into any more specifics about why he would bother to bring that back from Vietnam. Some of them bring back the local produce and products because it's cheap, but this is not made there.
The container and its contents will be closely inspected.
Is there a washing powder smell?
Yeah, well, it says it's an all-purpose cleaner. You can see that it's a white powder, but there's no real strong scent coming from it. It kind of makes you wonder what's actually there.
A swab test will indicate if there are any traces of illegal substances, and Officer Alicia wants some more details.
Were you with him when he bought it? Or?
No.
No, and he just asked you to give it. Is it for you?
Yeah,
Or does he hasn't asked you to give it to someone?
No, it's for home use, for my wife.
All right.
My wife, she asked me to buy certain crazy things.
But the swab test results indicate this passenger's wife may get more than a sparkle out of this cleaning powder.
One being heroin, one being GHB, and another one being something else. So we're just going to do a test on it.
The contents of the container will have to undergo further testing, while another box belonging to the passenger is opened and reveals bottles of honey, which is a prohibited import.
Honey's not uncommon.
But that's not all.
There's just water?
Yeah, it's water. They've frozen it up and keep it for her to drink.
For your wife?
She likes it. I know.
So literally you bought water?
That's what I'm saying.
Frozen water? Right. Did you see them fill all these up? Yeah?
Yes.
Drug syndicates are known to use sophisticated methods to suspend illegal substances in liquid. So a thorough examination will be carried out. The white powder will now be tested using laser technology to give a clear indication if there are any narcotics present. And the result is good news for the passenger.
It was positive for sodium carbonate, which is just like bicarb soda. It's fine to go, it's free.
He's not carrying narcotics, and the frozen water has also been inspected.
Water? Water. It's water.
The relieved passenger can now go home, but his wife will be missing one item.
Quarantine will take the honey because it's not commercially packaged. The water he can keep, but his wife's made him pay lots of excess luggage, so he could bring back the box of honey, which he can't have. He can have the water.
I'll ask you that question again, and I want you to respond to me honestly. Can you tell me what you're under the influence of today?
So is it just you and your mate travelling today?
Yep.
Yeah, where'd you come from?
London.
London? How long are you coming to Australia for?
Not sure.
Not sure. Have you got return flights? You haven't booked any return flights?
We've got work travel visas.
Work travel. Okay, so what will you be doing whilst you're in Australia?
Bit of this, bit of that.
The passenger fails to answer any questions seriously, and Officer Deb wants to know why.
So can you tell me what you're under the influence of today?
Under the influence of
Yes.
tiredness.
Okay, so I'll ask you that question again, and I want you to respond to me honestly. Can you tell me what you're under the influence of today?
We've had a few drinks on the plane. We are also very, very, very tired.
Okay. What were you drinking on the plane?
Whiskey.
Whiskey, and was that being served to you by the flight attendants, or did you have your own bottle?
We duty free.
What was that, sorry?
Duty free.
And have you taken anything else? Any sort of medication? No?
With growing concerns that this passenger may be up to something, the investigation is stepped up.
Do you have a mobile phone? Mobile cell phone?
Yep.
Yeah, can you just grab it out and place it on the
Yeah,
bench,
so-
please?
just going to take a swab off that. So we're just testing for any sort of narcotics.
I feel pretty alright.
You feel...
Pretty alright.
You're not looking all right.
It's a little bit. I've got lazy eyes.
His lazy eyes are one thing, but the results of a swab test taken from his phone will help officers assess further.
Okay, so we've done a reading and it's come back positive cocaine, and it's actually quite a high reading of cocaine. I've also been informed that you've been taking tablets on the plane. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Paracetamol.
Paracetamols?
Yeah.
That's not the information that we've been given.
Who's giving it out?
That's not up to you to know. The information I've been given is that you're taking medication on the flight. When I asked you before, you told me that the only thing you'd been doing is drinking, okay? Yeah. That you'd had a bottle of duty-free that you and your friend had drunk.
Okay, I've written down to we took some Valiums.
You took some Valiums. Okay. In this luggage, is there any cocaine in this luggage?
Absolutely not.
Is there any sort of narcotics at all in this luggage? No. Is there any Valium in this luggage? All right. I want you to turn around and watch the officer search your luggage.
With such a strong positive result from the swab test, officers have a few more questions for the man.
So, do you take any socially?
Yes.
You do? What sort would that be?
Cocaine.
You take cocaine.
A thorough bag search will now confirm if the man is telling officers the truth and if he has brought any illicit substances with him.
So, your mate was telling us that you indulge both in cocaine socially, is that correct?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Have you brought any cocaine across in your bag or on your person? No?
Absolutely none.
Okay. What about any other sort of drugs? Any marijuana? No. Any sort of pills?
They both deny carrying any illicit substances. But as the bag search continues, officers want to know more about their plans.
Basically, we've got 5 weeks to slowly make our way down the coast to Melbourne.
So are you driving?
Yeah.
Have you got a hire car?
We're going to buy a car, yeah.
You'll buy a car? So your money. So you're going to buy this car. So what money are you going to buy this car with?
Between the two of us, we've got more than enough money to...
The thorough search fails to find any illicit items and confirms the men are not attempting to bring any controlled substances across the border. The men are given a stern warning and are now free to commence their Australian holiday.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Go.
Sweet, you lot.
Okay. Down that way.
Bunch of charmers, isn't you?
Thank you. Thanks, have a good time. We do get this scenario periodically, and it's usually because they're nervous flyers and they take tablets to try and calm themselves down. But when they take it in the air, and usually if it's mixed with alcohol, it's not a good outcome.
Today, in Melbourne, this Englishman is about to be interviewed after he declared criminal convictions on his incoming passenger card.
We're going to try to get the individual to discuss their past, to provide us with information regarding the convictions. We do need to get more information about their character and their history so that we can have an understanding of who we're potentially letting into the country.
The man is travelling on a tourist visa, and Officer Stathy also needs to establish what his plans are while he is here.
What's the purpose of your travel to Australia today, Robert?
My daughter had little about 4 or 5 weeks ago, and I've come to see my grandchild.
How do you intend to spend your time over the course of the next 6 weeks in Australia?
Just enjoying it with my daughter, going out for walks, swim, just spending precious time together, really.
Have you previously travelled to Australia?
Yeah.
How long did you remain in Australia during your previous trip?
I think it was about 3 years.
The man admits to Officer Stathy that he breached the conditions of his 6-month holiday visa on his last visit.
Why did you overstay your previous visa? Can you provide me with some more information with regards to that?
Well, it was when my daughter came over. She decided she was definitely going to stay here. So I made sure that I stayed on till she made friends and got settled in.
There are concerns the man may be planning to overstay his visa on this trip as well. But there is also the matter of his criminal past.
When you arrived at the airport earlier this morning, you declared on your incoming passenger card that you have had previous criminal convictions. Is that correct?
Yeah.
What criminal convictions do you have?
I held up a bank.
How many years imprisonment were you sentenced to?
4.
How many years imprisonment did you serve?
I reckon about 3.5.
When did these convictions occur?
78 maybe.
Subsequent to this conviction, have you had any other criminal convictions?
No.
Have you ever appeared before a judge or magistrate since this?
No.
Although it was almost 40 years ago, it's a serious crime, and records indicate that the man lied about it on his incoming passenger card on his last visit to Australia.
We do have a copy of your previous incoming passenger card, Mr. Craig, and you did declare that you don't have any criminal convictions when you last entered Australia.
I said I didn't.
You said you didn't.
Okay, I can't remember.
Can you tell me why you provided false information upon this entry?
I can't remember that now, but I would imagine to hopefully get in and spend some time here, knowing that criminal convictions usually get stopped.
Interview suspended at 10:56 hours.
His admission of deliberately providing false information on his previous visit may be enough for Border Force officers to stop this man from entering the country to meet his granddaughter.
I've just consulted with the passenger and they have informed me that they do have criminal convictions dated 1978 and they were sentenced to a 4-year imprisonment sentence and have stated that they haven't had any issues with the authorities since these convictions.
As his case is carefully considered, the passenger reveals his emotional motive.
I mean, I'd never put a foot wrong. I'm not into that sort of thing at all, but I couldn't support my family at the time. I was playing footy and got a bad injury and was too ashamed to ask for help off anybody. And one day my partner come up the path with 4 bottles of milk that she'd pinched, and I felt that ashamed. I said, well, that's it. You're not gonna do that again. And off I went, robbed a bank. At the time, obviously being emotionally a bit knackered in the head, and you do daft things, but that's well gone. That's the one and only thing I've done wrong, and I paid the price for it.
But for Border Force officers, there is also a more recent issue. The man has admitted that he lied about his criminal conviction on his previous visit to Australia to gain entry into the country, and then remained here without a valid visa.
And he confirmed that he stayed for 3 years because he wanted to spend more time with his daughter.
A decision is made, and Officer Stathy takes the next step.
I'm now going to present you with a notice of intention to consider the cancellation of your visa. On one hand, he has a grandchild that he has never held, a grandchild that was born 5 weeks ago, and 2 daughters who have been residing in Australia for 12 years. On another hand, he has a serious criminal conviction for which he has spent a period of 3.5 years in prison. But he also has a history of non-compliance with Australian immigration laws.
He has been issued with a notice of intention to consider cancelling his visa and is given a chance to plead his case.
I'd just like to say that, look, what happened there was 40 blooming years ago. I don't see why I should be having to pay for that now. And this is just a family thing. I just want to get up, see my daughter, my children, and my grandchildren. I want to hold my grandchild for the first time. That's why I'm here. And that's really all I can say.
After carefully considering all the facts, a final decision is made.
I am satisfied that there are grounds for visa cancellation under section 1161B. Your visa has been cancelled or you're currently detained under section 1891 of the Migration Act. Do you have any questions at this moment of time, sir?
I can't believe it. I think it's a bloody disgrace, that sort of thing. Is this Australian justice for it? Something that I've done 40 blooming years ago. And I'm paying for it. All I want to see is me blooming children. How would you feel if you travelled halfway around the world and denied access to your own children and your grandchild that you've never seen? That's all I want to do. I'm not on any other bloody mission. Bloody hell. Honest to God.
This is a copy of your notification of decision, sir.
Well, thanks. It's been a pleasure.
It's not an easy decision, but for Officer Sthathy, it is a well-considered one.
It is a very emotional environment that we're operating in, but we're also operating within the law, the Australian law. And at times those decisions are very difficult, but they are always legally sound.